Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? I know I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been kind of having trouble recording these, which hopefully will change soon. I don't honestly know what is wrong with making these videos, but hopefully that will be fixed soon. Anyway, so basically, what I wanted to talk about today was kind of like what I've been going through, like some of the things that have been happening along the awakening for me in the past couple weeks, and also talking kind of about something for dealing with being in the world without being of it. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I wanted to talk about kind of what I've been going through lately. So I had been kind of experiencing a lot of different kind of things along the awakening. The main thing right now is kind of the psychic ability that's increasing, and also dealing with anxiety still flaring up, and a little bit of depression, because I think as things are coming up to clear, it takes it's harder to kind of work on them. So basically what I've been doing lately is I started going to this psychic development class, and she had a workshop on about being an empath. And for those of you that don't know what an empath is, I had talked about this in my other videos. But just briefly, it is somebody who's very sensitive to energies. So there was a whole workshop on it, which was really cool because I got to actually meet some people that were also empaths. I also took a medium development class, and the medium development class is actually it was really cool because it talked about being able to see and sense spirit around you, and how to kind of hone in on that without ever feeling like if the energy was negative, knowing how to get rid of that as well. And actually I've been kind of experiencing a couple things from that class. I had a meditation the other day, and my mom's friend is recently passed, and she's elderly, but I had always been close with her growing up, and from a young age I would go over to her house and be with them, and the way that I knew that it was her is that she said a phrase that she had said to me since I was little, and I hadn't actually thought of this phrase in a long time. The phrase is, she would call me her baby girl, and she goes, "How's my baby girl?" And I just kind of knew that it was not just a coincidence that I was kind of experiencing. I felt like there was a presence there, but at the same time I had heard this phrase that I hadn't heard in a long time, so that was kind of validation for me, just to know that that was what I was experiencing. So I also wanted to talk about being in the world without being of the world. That's probably the thing right now for me that is the hardest to deal with. I think as a light worker, it's something that we have to manage in our day-to-day lives, because when it really comes down to it, we have to live in this society and we have to function. So we need to figure out how to make a living and support ourselves and be content and be happy in our lives, without squandering on our spiritual beliefs as well. I think for me, the hardest thing has been to find something that is fulfilling, but at the same time, it doesn't drain me, because a lot of the jobs that I've had since I graduated have really kind of drained my energy. And I'm realizing how precious my energy is and how I want to give it out anymore, and who I want to give it out to, and the best way to do that. It's honestly something that has been really challenging for me, because I honestly it tears at you. It's the difference between reality, the world that you see, and your higher self and your spirituality. It's the difference between functioning and struggle, and this idea that we have to struggle and make our lives better, and then we will be happy. And that's honestly no way to live. And it's like I realize all these things. I realize where I'd like to be and where my spiritual path is taking me. But these energies and these realities this world is teaching me have really been just dragging me down. It's almost like with the awakening, the fears that are coming up to be cleared are also suppressing us and bringing us down. But we have to fight through them. And I think that the best way to do that is just keep on our spiritual practices, and trust, and know that these things are meant to come up for us to clear. I think, it's really hard for me to kind of, I don't, I think one of my biggest fears is the fear of failure. And that's something I actually wrote about before, because I feel like for me, I have labeled things in my past that could have been perceived as failures, but when in reality they're all just lessons that I needed to learn about myself and about a lot of things. But with each perceived failure, I think that it's drawn me into kind of more of a depression, because I think that this is how the world is. And I think I'm slowly coming to the conclusion that it really doesn't have to be that way, and I'm really breaking free from those constraints. I actually have thought of this metaphor before that, I think people that are going through the awakening, especially ones that are in the dark night of the soul, which I think I'm still probably in, we're like a bird in a cage. This bird knows that it can fly, but it can't fly very far. It's trapped and confined in this cage, and the things that it receives are the things that people give it. And that's the only thing it knows. It knows that this is the reality, this is the world, this is my cage, this is the only thing that is around me. And slowly but surely, I think all of us are becoming the bird that escapes the cage. We're all escaping our cages, and it's that's why it's so hard. That's why it's so fearful and fear-based, because not only do we not know what's on the other side, but we have been in the cage so long that it becomes our home, and we get used to it, and we become conditioned by the cage, by the norms, by the everything that society has taught us. And I think for me, that's why it's been so difficult to face, because it's you're facing yourself. They say the hardest thing to face is yourself, and the hardest thing to overcome is your fear, and that's exactly what we're all doing right now. And I think we just need to be really patient with ourselves and take the time out to recognize what we need in the moment. And that may be hard with job situations, because I feel like, no, you have to do this right now. No, you have to do this right now. You have to like act a certain way, be a certain way. That's what I'm feeling. It's so limiting. It's so, oppressed. And I think I know that society doesn't need to be like this, that you don't need to struggle your whole life. You don't need to do all these things in order to be happy. And you can succeed and not have to struggle in any way. You can just be and be happy. And I think society has forgotten that. I noticed that, when I'm in nature, that's the one time that I can just be and not worry about what society thinks, because I think, I'd love to just, I know that it would have its challenges too, but the world of money and pressure is one that is just not how I think anyone is supposed to be. I think it just causes too much fear and too much pressure, too much anxiety and stress. And I think that's what the world is coming to the conclusion. But like, will we ever really break out of these norms? It's hard. And I don't know. But anyway, I think that I'm definitely trying to work on a lot of these things in myself. But if if you guys have any tips on how to kind of balance this, anyone experiencing something similar to this, that would be awesome. And as always, you can email me. I've actually started kind of communicating with more people, which is exactly what I wanted to do with these videos. So the more people that can comment and message me and kind of explain what they're going through, I think we're all meant to help each other. So the more people that can do this, and support each other, I think the easier a transition is going to be. But all right, guys. Well, as always, I love making these videos, and I hope they help you as much as they help me. All right, love and light, guys.